And I'm going to quote a tweet here. Laughing my behind off. Well, okay, let me start from the original tweet. It says it has to be bants. Nobody is picking going to see their homeboy over their wife in labor. Like, okay, so that actually happened. So the follow-up tweet now says, laughing my behind off, a man that has brought in a second wife the same day his wife gave birth to Nko. There's just so much going on out there, so many alarming, overwhelming, unbelievable tweets and things you see, and you wonder if these things actually happen.
So today, I know the focus is more on friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, there's this, on the one hand, there's this conversation going on about a man who, you know, went to visit his friend who had an accident while his wife was in labor. So he left his wife in the hospital so she could go through the delivery process, and then went to meet his wife, his friend that had an accident. And so the argument was on which one was more pertinent at that moment. Should it have been he going to his wife, or it's okay that he went to, you know, his best friend? And then on the other hand, there's also the issue of a woman whose man has asked her to cut ties with notes, not just a friend or a very good friend, her best friend, because he's feeling threatened by their relationship. Meanwhile, this best friend had helped her when her parents, you know, more or less cut her off because she had an unplanned pregnancy. So the focus this morning is actually on friendships, okay? It's actually on friendships. Why men, you know, tend to value their friendships more and then expect women to give up certain friendships they are not comfortable with.
I find it a little bit alarming because, especially when friends, true friends, are sometimes even stronger bonds than blood brothers and sisters. Some friends have done more for you than your family would ever do.
Tell me about it.
You know, there's some friends that will let you in the door when your parents lock you out. I have a friend like that, look, it was too late to go back to my area. My parents really, at this time, you want to be moving around. And this, despite her own parents not liking the idea, she said, no, this is my girl, let me in, you know? I'm just trying to think about why friendship is now
A yardstick.
Exactly. Why should that be? Why should there be a compare and contrast? Okay, well, the lady in labor now, the way you said it before, it was as if he was already in the hospital with her and then left her there. It's not that he didn't take her there. He took her there first. Right?
Was that the situation? Are we sure that's what?
That's what you said.
If you check the thread, including that quote you wanted to read initially, people were telling their own stories. There's one that the guy went to chill with his friends, and then his wife calls and says the baby is out, and he says he goes to see his star. Like, she was doing her business.
Well, you know,
she's my wife,
so now
she's pregnant,
this is what I
she
would
should give
say.
birth.
So I've heard different stories about this same situation where a woman's in labor and the guy is literally acting up. I'll say acting up. So now, not the way I see it, I've heard several explanations from guys, actually. And sometimes, some of them are actually honest enough to say that they don't know what to do at that point. Some guys literally get so... there's the word nervous or anxious, and they really would rather not. You know how some guys can be avoidance, right? They would rather not be there. Just they will look for any reason whatsoever. Yeah. To you, is them just acting up, but to them, they're probably having a nervous breakdown or something like that. They just want to leave that situation.
Can I just mention that a woman in labor too doesn't know what to do, especially if it's her first child.
I mean, it's not an excuse.
Nobody ever knows what
it's not an excuse. Being there is enough. Do you understand that? Compared to literally like leaving and going somewhere else. But I'm just saying, like...
So can I go to the comment section of the conversation where the fiancé was saying he wouldn't marry a lady because she's too tight with her best friend.
Told her to cut ties.
Yes.
So it's choose between your best friend has been there for you.
An insecure man.
Yeah, so, but I was a little more concerned about the fact that she was even asking, because the post came out because she was asking for advice. Should she cut ties with her best friend when there's a man that is ready to marry her with this unplanned child that she has?
Yeah.
Whereas this friend brought her into her home, looked after her, helped her get a job, you know, supported her and the child when there was no man. And suddenly there's a man that wants to take care of you, and he says, look, your friend is too involved in your life.
I like what's happening, because when this marriage fails too, and she has 2 extra children, and then she will call that her best friend, and then the best friend say, but you chose your man
over me.
You want to
This is what I have to say about that, right? Reading it, something actually stood out to me. She said, he dated me and really loves me despite everything.
Yes.
Right there, I saw low self-esteem. First off, what do you mean So of course she sees him as a reward or as a prize, right? And he's probably so I'm just thinking of what the relationship between them even is like normally. Then of course you also mentioned the fact that the friend is really successful, and she thinks she's a bad influence on her, probably because the girl is probably telling her to get on her feet and probably gets independence and things like that. Yeah. So I mean, I think the answer is quite clear. In my opinion, it's clear what she should do, but she's asking.
Well, if it's not clear to her now, there are 4,000 plus comments that direction that should give you some clarity, if you ask me.
Women should keep it in mind. Men don't play with their friendships. You probably shouldn't play with yours either.
Yeah.
Very well said. Be the ones that will help you in your times of
Very well said. All in all, your thoughts, your comments, your contributions are of immense value to us. Please use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tell us what you think.